the 11th. The 11th of May, 2020. The 11th of May. And today is the day that the official lockdown kind of ends. For a lot of people. So I'm walking to the Connemara with no paperwork. Might be difficult to talk today because I feel pretty bad. In terms of the day itself, it's a wonderfully cloudy day, and there's like big, heavy, low clouds rolling in from the direction of Vox Villeneuve, and then looking at the mountains of Loure, it looks like it's on fire. Lots of little white clouds all over the place. And me, well, I don't know why I'm kind of find myself obsessing about my two teeth just below where I had the infection taken out. As you probably know, I keep kind of tapping them with my finger, and they don't feel the same as the other teeth, but just kind of remember today the fact that, of course, they're false teeth, so I'm not sure they should feel the same as the other teeth, because they're both not implants, but they're both caps. But the thing is, I kind of feel them, and I can kind of, there's absolutely no pain or anything, but I kind of sense them in a strange way. I can't stop thinking about the fact that he did quite a lot of work up there, and there's a slight worry. Did he do? Is it all working out properly? Basically, I think the guy did the best he could. Seemed to be okay on some kind of little X-ray he showed me after. It feels okay. It's just, I don't know. It's something my mind is on the last few hours. I guess I gotta forget about. What I'd like to do is I'd like to have one of those big panoramic X-rays, even if it costs money, in his place, and I'd like him to just check everything and tell me it's absolutely fine, you know. So that's one thing. And then the other thing, I had a bad night because I just had a kind of like I ate something that didn't agree with me, or I ate too much yesterday, or I ate too late. But I had that classic stomach cramp during the night. Just a real pain in my gut. I didn't have any bad toilet experiences, but it's just and a headache, which the headache seems to be gone now, but that's one of the good reasons for taking on this walk. And I had a kind of a like dead kind of headache for the last 2 days, and I had it last night as well, and it's always kind of around the left eye area. It's easy for my mind to get entangled in things. It's like a fly getting stuck in a web. I can't get out, and I can spend the whole day quietly worrying about a tooth or about the headache or about my left eye, in the sense that the vision is a little bit worse than it was, things like that. That's slow. Shit. Hello?
Yeah, it's me. I'm just coming back with Tuko, and Tuko is running around the flat. Where is he? So he's sniffing your slippers, he's going under the desk, in the computer room. Then he goes to the bed on your side. He goes to the toilet. It's funny, huh? He's looking for you. Oh, il est parti. Huh? Because we let you went to the flat, we come back, you're not there, so it's a mystery, huh? Look in the cupboard. Look in the cupboard. He's pas in the cupboard, no, j'ai dit. Hein? Alors? Voilà, that's it. That's all I want to say.
What did Bernard say about the lock?
He's got a guy from the gym doing it, so he doesn't know now. So
Right.
Just take someone on the yellow pictures, yeah.
Okay.
I had an animal in my hair.
You're going to check the bank as well to see if we received anything, I suppose, yeah?
Yeah, the other one that I asked for, yeah, the 1,500, I was going to take that, yeah.
Yeah. Good.
I'll let you know later.
Okay.
Then I'll go to my 4 p.m. doctor appointment. Huh? Voilà.
4 p.m. Yeah, I've taken all the keys, yeah, so. Well.
Where? Oh, you left my home key. Good, yeah. I've got my home key here. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
God bless you. God bless you.
Have a nice talk.
Yeah, see you later. Bye. That was Flo. As if you needed to be told. So my stomach still doesn't feel great. I've decided not to eat anything today. Yeah, last night I had a kind of unstoppable appetite. Found myself having cheese and toast at, I don't know, 1:30 in the morning. I could keep eating. So I'm not going to eat, well, unless I do something decent, like lamb or something. That biological state then has made me feel very worrisome. Be the word today. I guess I gotta just go through it. Everything takes a hit when you go into that state. You know, like, and instead of looking forward to playing Red Dead Redemption, it's like all of a sudden Red Dead Redemption becomes something I don't want to play it at all. It's going from a great thing I can't wait to, it's boring, it's a chore, I'm not going to play it. And even Transport Fever, I started a new tropical map yesterday, and it was nice, and I was getting motivated to just sit back and let it run and try and slowly but surely transport stuff around the map. I was quite motivated, but now today I'm not motivated very much. It's funny how the mood clouds everything. And so the only thing which is kind of my refuge when the state gets really bad, when you really are just kind of, you gotta hang on to something, I tend to go for a walk at that point. And the longer walk to Connemara, the better. So it's good timing that the lockdown, as far as I'm aware, is finished and you can walk where you want. Although I have no mask and I have no gloves, so I'm going to feel a little tense shopping, I think. Especially if more and more people are wearing masks. I think it's only fair that I should as well. I don't mind outside, but in the shops. And I brought some music. I brought my Philips player, which has got a little bit of a playlist on it, which I plan to listen to later. So yes, Monday, the 11th May, I managed to upload, I think, 9 different audio bits, files, whatever. And as I upload them, I kind of delete the ones on the desktop because I've got them all stored in other places. So that piece of useless work is going on. There's nothing to be done really when you feel like this. You just got to wait it out. You really just got to find the simplest thing that you can manage, and it can get to the point where the only thing you're able to do is either walk and talk like this or listen to some music. God, these clouds are very dramatic. Very dramatic. It's like part of the sky is quite bright, kind of very white clouds, and the blue sky and the light's not far behind, and then other parts are very much darker greys. You could imagine putting a grey colour on a canvas and then throwing water on it or something. You'd have maybe a similar effect. Flo is going to the doctor, I think, to have her knees checked today. We don't know when we start back. I heard in Ireland that we're talking about, or was it England, in July. I don't know what the story is here. I haven't heard anything on the French system. Well, just noticing the lavender on my right hand side here. It's looking extremely healthy. It's like it's grown a lot, I guess because of the rain and the sun. I like these hundreds of little green hedges. And the rain is starting to fall. So yes, that's the state of play today. I've got so many audio files to upload as well. I was thinking, even when I get through these Lenny files from January and February, I got something like 67 or 8 different files on this device. 60 something. That's well, some of them are 35-40 minutes. They should be pretty quick to upload, but still, it may take a long time if I keep this up. If I keep doing these audio tapes, it may take a long time to catch up. But who cares? That's of no importance, no consequence, doesn't matter. Yeah, my stomach feels tight. Flo was looking at jobs on the laptop, types of jobs that are available, and she was saying kind of nursing helpers is very popular at the moment, and then after that you've got like stacking shelves and helping in markets, I think. And I kind of had to refrain from saying anything because I could feel myself being triggered. Is a good word for triggered is the word, into simply because it makes me feel very well, it makes me feel uneasy just thinking about. I just can't help it. My mind goes to the worst job scenario of, that's unfortunately there is none. Maybe you could say, well, you could say that's your intuition. I don't know. The thought of being in some place like Carrefour and stacking shelves and having a good time, and just that never ever comes into my fantasy. It's not fantasy, but my deliberations on what these types of jobs would be like. It's always the sense that there's some person, everybody's speaking fast, they're telling me stuff and I don't quite understand it, but then I do, and they kind of smile at me, and I know that behind my back everybody in the place is rolling their eyes, and I'm like this, just this fantastic joke in the place. That's a very low level of confidence, and I have flashbacks to working in the bookies. in London, and thinking that it would feel like that again. You know, working, and then the thought of working in a, let's say, a place like Ratatouille, where you've got a farmer type guy who's even worse, who secretly, well, he probably never hired me in the first place, but let's say for some reason he did. But in the back of his mind, they all despise the fact that there's a guy here who doesn't speak the language well enough. That car is travelling far too fast. So I had to bite my lip, so to speak. I had to just look at Flo and kind of nod and say, yeah, that's the kind of jobs there are now, I guess. I want to play along, and I don't want to get into, because that's one of my vicious circles I have to break out of. I don't want to end up having a conflict every time Flo mentions job. It's just so difficult for me to even think about these things, let alone try and do them. And I realize in myself now it's perhaps to do with age, maybe something to do with pride, and it may very well also be something to do with somebody being very aware of the type of person he is. And a person realizing he's incredibly unsocial. It really pains me to think of some of these jobs. And I guess in the mood I'm in now, it's only natural that the thoughts of those type of things and the thoughts of the future, right now, because of the fucking record I'm playing in my head, it's all going to be very negative. If I was feeling like I felt the other day walking to the Connemara, those thoughts would kind of bounce off me and it wouldn't be any problem, and I'd maybe even find myself a little, there might be a spark of enthusiasm about a change, perhaps. But not now. Now it's the worst. Even going back to starting the Connemara is not very appealing. But the good news is I really am aware that this is just a little piece of time. It's a piece of road, piece of water. The mood I have is colouring everything, and I'm aware it's the projections or the looking aheads are false. I'm aware that my mind is not really giving me the truth, whatever the truth is. It's putting a bad spin on things, let's say. I'm aware of it. So, in a sense, I'm trying not to take myself too seriously right now. I'm kind of allowing myself to vent. But I'm also aware that these projections on future jobs I may be thinking, these visualizations are nonsense, perhaps. There might be a little intuition about the personality I am, but you know when you're in a bad mood, bad form. Especially when you start having bad feelings about Red Dead Redemption and Transport Fever. There's nothing wrong with either of those games. They were perfect yesterday, and they'll be perfect again tomorrow. It's really just the mood. And you have to apply the same logic to all this thinking about the future. And the teeth and everything, well, I guess that's part and parcel of this mood. It likes to kind of find things and torture you with them. Hello, buddy. That was a bird. Do I want to say any more about this, or is it time to put on some music? It's an interesting exercise again to take time. Bring time to the equation. If I were to think back to all the times I've had this dynamic with myself, this conversation, not just over the last decade, but even before that, you know, could easily picture myself walking around Walpole Park or something, having the same discussion. But I've always managed. Things have always kind of come together. And it'll surely be the same this time and in the future. So one has to leave it all well alone. Now, the situation with Flo, I think I have to try and change my attitude and maybe even try some of these jobs if it comes down to it. And I have to take some humor into it. And I have to try and go, well, it could be fun as well, you know. You do stuff. You don't like it, maybe they'll fire you. I don't know, just have to look at it in a different way. And of course, when I'm in good form, that's the thing that comes to the front. I start thinking, well, maybe I'd get a job, wouldn't it be? Just think of the experience, the adventure, if you like, small adventure. But just think, what would it be like to go and be there and have people asking me to do stuff, and but if you were able to just have the I don't care attitude, you're just trying it out, maybe it could be fun. Who knows, you know, it's unknown. That's more the brighter attitude. It'll come back. And also, you know, I don't think Flo wants to do any of these jobs either. And when all is said and done, I don't think Flo is crazy enough to just get rid of the Connemara, or perhaps, well, if someone wanted to buy it, that would be different, but I don't think she's ever going to just walk away from it, unless she's got really something planned. She wants some money at the end of the month as much as me. Yeah. Just past the old house on top of the hill, the old new house. And now I'm descending. Tell you what would work for me. I start worrying about my tooth, even though it seems to be fine, but it just, I know what I mean. And then the future, jobs and Connemara and Flo, and my gut. What I should do at times like this is I should cast my mind to Martina's husband, John O'Farrell. I should reflect on him for a moment. I should picture him right now. I should think about what inner dialogue would he be having about his future. And a thought like that should maybe make me think, well, John would probably say, you know, Eddie, I would love to have the luxury of having your problems. I would love to have the luxury of trying to figure out what job you're going to do, or how you're going to amuse yourself tonight, what game you're going to play. I would love to have those kind of problems instead of dwelling on how much longer am I going to be able to breathe without a machine, whatever he's thinking about, I don't know. That's so true. I should be ashamed of myself for having, or thinking I have some kind of problem. I should be ashamed. I know sometimes there's not much you can do about the sorry state your mind can get in with trivialities, but still, I should reflect on John more often. I should stop and reflect on that. And thank my lucky stars that I have nothing, absolutely nothing to worry about. fact, I'm going to go through the day, drink and eat and sleep. Bonjour. Drink and eat and sleep. The luxury I have of worrying about imaginary problems. The luxury of getting irritated because the game you're playing is not doing it for you, or so you believe it won't tonight. The absolute luxury of just having to worry about how to earn some money. The luxury of just worrying about, my God, I can probably get other jobs, but I'm going to be quite awkward in them. My God, I don't really have a proper understanding of the language. People, I won't understand them, they won't understand me. What a luxury. Nothing there at all, really. I mean, nothing. It's all just a case of changing your attitude. They don't understand me, I don't know French, they may hate me. Change your attitude. Change your attitude. Either try and be nice and say, I'm doing the best I can. Or just say, fuck it, I don't care what you think. I'm working here to get some money at the end of the week. So either you let me work, I don't care what you say about me, or you fire me. But that's that. Change your attitude. At least that way you can play along. You can apply for certain jobs, whatever. You can get down to your CV, start have fun with it. I mean, if there's ever a reason to, we don't know. I'm linking the future jobs, and I think somehow it's getting connected unconsciously with life and mortality. So that you start thinking, if I have no job and no money, it somehow represents death. It gets connected to that file somehow, and so it becomes a very disturbing scenario. But actually having no job is certainly nothing to do with that. Having no money. I think you've got enough shit to keep it going for the rest of your life in terms of electronics. Okay. I wouldn't say that, because I plan to live a long, long time. And let's say different things come out, and I still want my 360-degree camera, but those things aren't really important. If all you needed is food and clothing, there are places you can go and people will give them to you. Any real problem is a roof over your head. How do you pay that? Well, I guess Flo would have to earn something to do that, and maybe just by the yoga and by her rent in Marseille, we'd cover the rent here. We'd cover the rent here and the bills, and that's it. Could it be possible that we could both just stop working, avail ourselves to all the charity systems that are out there, go to the food banks, clothes banks? Not that I just don't need clothes. Yes. Anyway, I'm coming up to the depot. And rather than keep talking, I think I'd like to listen to some music. So I'm going to switch off now. I'm going to say adios.